No Joyce of mine, there's no Raylos. Should have probably waited to go live, but I am fired up again right now, so I decided not to. I just am going forward. Want to talk a little bit about where we go from here as far as being Star Wars fans and trying to assess what's going on. Now, last night, Yellow Flash, or well, this morning Yellow Flash posted this, but last night Doomcock came in and basically said that the Gina Carano thing really has put Disney executives on their heels. I'm gonna say this: it didn't put Lucasfilm on their heels because they have no idea how fucking money's made. But the people who do, hey Dakari, but the people who do are like, personally, I don't think the people in charge of Disney knew this was coming down the road. And I'm hoping Jon Favreau does or says something that gets the fans incensed enough to tell Disney to fucking quit it and to get rid of the people involved. Can I ask y'all a question? Do you guys remember the movie A Christmas Story? I'm going to assume you did. It is about a 10 or 8-year-old boy named Ralphie Parker growing up in a small city, small town, Indiana, in the mid-40s after World War II was over. And, you know, it's I think, a very great time in the world to grow up. You don't have the internet. You don't have TV. You, Dave, you don't have any of this stuff, but you do have the radio. You do have the Andrews Sisters and Bing Crosby and, you know, all that music and all that shit, okay? All that great stuff. There's no political correctness. Women didn't need it. Let me tell you something about the women who were around during the 30s and 40s. They were a hell of a lot more fucking liberated than we are. You want to know why? Because there was no such thing as bra-burning feminazi bitches and blue-haired land whales. I mean, even quote-unquote bisexual women like Marlene Dietrich would have looked at some of the slobs, like Justina Ireland, Claudia Gray, that bitch Christina Ariel, E.K. Johnston, Kathleen Kennedy herself, and said, you are disgusting and you're not good women. Women enjoyed being women back then, okay? But I'm not going to talk about that. I'm going to talk about Ralphie. Ralphie has your typical childhood. He is, I would say, in school, he's probably not the most popular kid, but he's also not the least popular kid. There's a school bully who bullies everybody named Scott Farkas. And he's got a little wingman named Grover Dill. And they bully everybody, especially Ralphie and his friends. Schwartz and the other kid. I can't remember his name, but and of course, and Ralphie's little brother Randy. And the movie opens up with the kids running across the street too. Back in those days, every town had a beautiful department store, and I mean they were nice, because in the late 60s and 70s, when I was growing up, La Crosse, Wisconsin had a store called Dorflinger's. Dorflinger's had top-of-the-line shit. You know, it wasn't Kmart. It was, you walked in there, and there was Waterford Crystal and top-of-the-line designer clothes and all this really neat stuff. They brought that stuff to every American, and it was affordable. Well, there is and of course, there were the windows that people could go and look at, you know, before Christmas, and it was a tradition. People did that. So Ralphie and his friends are looking at it, and of course, you see model airplanes flying and trains, and you know all the really cool toys you kids used to have that they could actually pretend with, and you see up on the wall Red Ryder and his 2000 shot range model air rifle. And Ralphie is like me, standing in front of Toy Fair at the age of 8, looking at the Briar horse with the white stallion rearing up and going, hey, I wanted that so bad. I got him too. And I got a buckskin stallion too. And it was great. I did everything with them. Anyway, and it's all about Ralphie's travails and going to trying to get somebody to listen to him. So on Christmas morning, he would get this Red Ryder 2000 shot range model air rifle. And his mother says, "You'll shoot your eye out. Those things are known to, those things are dangerous." Teacher says you'll shoot your eye out. Even Santa Claus puts his foot in his forehead and goes, "You'll shoot your eye out, kid." And Ralphie is just getting frustrated and miserable and despairing. And he writes a theme, which is an essay. And the theme was what I want for Christmas. And I'm going to tell you how this happened. Ralphie and his friends dared another friend to stick his tongue on a flagpole. And when it was, cold. I mean, probably below 10 degrees. And yes, we all used to go out and play, even in the 70s when it was 10 degrees. It wasn't that cold because we were dressed right, okay? So anyway, he does it. And the kid gets his tongue stuck to the flagpole. They all leave him there. So he's like, and they can see him. So the teacher looks out the window. She's like, "Oh!" And she runs, gets the cops, fire department. They get the kid off there. They bring him up, and he's got it looks like toilet paper wrapped around his tongue. And it's just, so she assigns the kids a theme, what I want for Christmas. So immediately Ralphie goes, "I know what I'm going to write about." So he writes, what I want for Christmas. What I want for Christmas is a Red Ryder 2000 shot range model air rifle with a compass in the stock and this thing that tells time. I don't think there's any better present, la-di-da. Teacher gets it, gives him a C+. Ralphie is crushed. Meanwhile, Grover Dill is, basically beating the shit out of everybody. And, just being the bully. And he's always there. He's always, doing things that hurt other people, all the rest of this shit. And, he's your typical bully. We all had them. I was a bullied kid. So if you wanted to be cool to the popular kids, you went and harassed Steph, okay? I got over it, okay? I got over it. And that's what you do. You just figure it out. You get to a place where you just figure it out. And there were times I struck back. I bloodied the nose of one kid. I punched another one in the stomach. And they would leave you alone. They would leave you alone. The moment you showed you weren't afraid of them, they left you alone because bullies are cowards. So Ralphie's depressed. He's despairing. He's miserable. He's walking through the alley going home. And he gets hit in the face with an ice ball. Looks up, and there's Grover Dill. When I tell you to come, I mean come. And he goes, "What are you going to do about it? Cry? Come on, baby, cry." Ralphie launches himself and beats the shit out of him. And I'm going to tell you something. Being in that situation and getting to that point where you're like, I don't care anymore, I'm going to kick his ass, you suddenly are liberated. You suddenly are, oh my God, I'm finally doing the thing I should have done in the first place. He needed his ass kicked, I'm providing it. These days, the cops would be called, everybody would be thrown in jail, parents would be locked up. Back then, if it got too bad, your parents did get involved. But normally, kids figured it out. The bullies got chased off. The bullies got set in their place. And if you couldn't do it yourself, your friends, and I had friends in high school, they made goddamn sure those kids wouldn't gang up on you again, and they got their asses kicked. All right? That's how it worked. You had a posse. By the time you got to high school, you had a posse. Ralphie just does it on his own. I am done with Lucasfilm, the way they treat fans. The Gina Carano thing has finally done it. It is time for us to go Ralphie Parker on them. Leiko Nectera Art just sent me a bunch of tweets where they're blowing up Gina Carano figures and putting her face over one, being destroyed, being fucking sickos, right? It's not like, when EVS was ripping apart Rose Tico dolls and figures, he wasn't doing that to Kelly Marie Tran. He was doing it because he hated the character. Now I'm going to tell you something. These motherfuckers, these scut farkus bastards, have no fucking idea that there's a difference between the character and the actor. They proved it when they lost their shit when EVS did it. But by God, it's okay if they do that to Gina. See the problem? You see it? Now it's time for us to go Ralph Parker. They're Scott Farkas. We are Ralph Parker. What are we going to do about it? Well, you go on Twitter and go on the attack. Mass report them. Mass report them. You hear me? Mass report them. Mass report them on Instagram. Go after them on Facebook. Find their YouTube channels and go after them there, okay? No more of this shit, because I'm going to tell you something. Star Wars Explained, Molly Damon and that bitch husband of hers, Steele Saunders, Jason Ward, and all the rest of this bile, filth, bully shit are doing Disney's, not Disney's, Lucasfilm's bidding. You go after them. Now I'm going to tell you something. There's a reason why Pablo Hidalgo went private, and it's not just because Disney told him to fucking quit bothering the fans. He went private because he was sick and tired of us coming at him. He's a coward. He's a goddamn coward. Now, he could show up here and troll. I know I've caught him trolling on Geeks and Gamers, and a lot of other places. All right, they live to be bullies. And when they're in a pack, they think they can get away with it. And right now they think they got away with something. But they didn't. And we've got to show them that. All right, we have to put them in the position where they're on the goddamn defensive. I don't know how to do it. I'm really like, you got Doomcock saying that they're probably going to reinstate Gina. I don't know how they're going to do anything without Gina, because she was the one that sold the most figures of Mandalorian. I've ordered 3 off of eBay. I'm not going to buy it from Hasbro. Hasbro can go, probably not a good idea getting rid of her. Disney, well, we can recast her. It's like, no, they don't want her recast. They want Gina Carano. Okay. If we let them get away with it, what are they going to do to Rosario Dawson? She's not my favorite person, by the way. Any woman who date Cory Booker, I like to bitch slap her. Well, what the fuck is wrong with you? But, that's just me being a woman going, okay? But she did, and she has, and, that's my personal ick moment. But she doesn't deserve to get bullied. They've tried to bully her before because of some trumped up anti-trans fucking bullshit. Okay? Fine. They're going to go after her. Then they're going to go pick out somebody else. Okay? I'm sure if Harrison Ford was on Twitter, but cool people don't go on Twitter, but if he did, he'd be like, he wouldn't have pronouns in his name, and they'd try to cancel him. Part of my problem with Mark Hamill is that I think he doesn't believe half the shit he says, but he says it to keep those people off his back, because he won't fight back. He's not William Shatner, okay? He's not. William Shatner has no fucks to give, okay? He's about the only cool person on Twitter, by the way. I am kind of in a mood right now to throw down. So I propose Freddie Prinze Jr., get him canceled. Get him, literally drive him off of Twitter. Drive Molly Damon off of Twitter. Drive these fuckers off of Twitter. Get them off. Make it so they don't want to go there and post, because every time they open up their mouth, even to write testing on it, they get swarmed by pissed off Star Wars fans. Because again, it is not that Disney's allowing this. It is that they are encouraged by the story group to do it. Okay? They are the auxiliaries. They are the unpaid faction of the story group. Okay? They are not Star Wars fans. They don't care about the franchise. They don't care about any of this. Well, I found them on eBay, so when I get them, whenever that is, I'll try to do a video. I am not going to stand for this. I'm not. It is time that we all stand up and fight back. I did a video just now about what a bunch of cowards Disney is. And they are. They're very much cowards, and they deserve to be ridiculed, mocked, and put in a box and just browbeaten, right? Do not go back to Disney Plus. If you must see The Mandalorian or WandaVision, there are other ways to do it. Good, Takare. There are other ways to do it, okay? Do not let them get away with this, all right? Don't, because they'll do it to Rosario Dawson. They'll do it to Jon Favreau, all right? They'll do it to any one of these people, all right? If Mark Hamill kept his mouth shut and just talked about Star Wars and, you know, that movie about the Templar Knights, that show about the Templar Knights he was in, la-di-da, they go after him too. Okay, they go after David Prowse. They go after Peter Mayhew, if they could. These people are ruthless. They are exactly what Gina in that meme said they were. They are your next door neighbors who would report you and put you out of business. They beat the shit out of you. You know, what was it? One of them, was it Fass or Sass or whatever the fuck her name was, on Itchy's blog the other day was complaining that I was afraid to go to Star Wars Celebration because of all this. We weren't threatening you, you fucking cunt. You were threatening us. You are fucking threatening us. Okay? And when we get mad, going Ralphie Parker, you turn coward. I don't know why. I don't know. They're incompetent. The fucking Bobs are incompetent. Okay? I mean, why the fuck? Why the fuck? I know, yeah, Anastasia, you're right. Is Kathleen Kennedy, who I believe isn't running much at Lucasfilm at all, still there and still allowed to affect what goes on with something she's not part of? Why? I don't give a shit what she knows. None of us do. The reason why we're all here and we're so angry is because what happened to Gina was wrong. It was unjust. And that's true. Okay, it is unjust. Okay, I'm an American. She's a fellow American. You want to piss off Americans, you do something we perceive to be unjust. This is exactly what happened. And don't sit there like an SJW piece of shit and tell me she was being anti-Semitic. What part of that was anti-Semitic? What? What? And may I remind you, bitch boys and girls, that I, unlike you, have actually gone and studied this shit. I actually went, of course it is Synodive. I've actually gone to the camps. I've been to Sachsenhausen. I've been to Dachau. I've been to Auschwitz. Have any of you? No. I've actually had conversations with former SS officers because it was part of my studies. And I wanted to know what the hell they were thinking. Okay? You are exactly what she said the people that lived in Germany in the 30s were. Okay? I'm going to tell you something. This is how it goes on. A third of the people are violent. A third of the people support whatever the government's doing and are the unofficial auxiliary violent people that do it. A third of the people don't want it, but are scared. And whatever's left over, try to fight back, and they end up being the ones being persecuted by the other two. Because I'm going to tell you something. Was it Father Colby, who's a saint now, who sacrificed himself at Auschwitz? Was it Martin Niemöller or was it Dietrich Bonhoeffer? One of them said, silence is acquiescence. Silence is agreement. If you stay silent, you are one of them. You are one of them. Maybe it was Sophie Scholl, who was one of the students who led the White Rose movement in Munich, who was beheaded by the SS. Okay? I know this shit, but you fuckers don't. And the reason why you're so offended by what she said is because she fucking called you out. She fucking called you out. No one is standing up and saying, this is horseshit. Again, you tell me that meme, you tell me how that's anti-Semitic. And oh, by the way, if you're going to tell me you do bring up the Holocaust, it didn't have anything to do with the Holocaust. Let me explain why. Because this shit's been going on since Erg threw a rock and hit Derg in the head and killed him. 200,000 years ago. Okay? That's the truth. Human beings have been hating the other for hundreds of thousands of millennia. This is why we have clans, tribes, city-states, nation-states, kingdoms, empires. Okay? This is why, the TV show Rome proved it, showed it. The Romans looked down on Jews as goat-eating men. This is why the Jews look down at everybody else as not being the chosen people. You want to get into hate? Let's talk about the Samaritans versus the Jews. The tale of the Good Samaritan. You had a Levite and a priest walk by the guy who was beaten up by the robbers. They leave him there. The Samaritan, the hated one, everybody around Jesus listening to this, is a Jew, goes, takes the guy up, carries him to an inn, pays for his care, says he'll pay for the rest of it when he comes through again. Do you see the problem here? This is calling hatred out. This is calling the bullshit that we're seeing towards Gina out. I ask you a question. Molly Damon, if you're here. Alex. Pablo. How come you fuckers don't stand up against human trafficking? How come you never see James Gunn stand up against it? Freddie Prinze Jr. Disney. I know why. Every year the FBI and local law enforcement in Orlando and in California do a dragnet of pedophiles, and a lot of them are watch that guy egoing 74 Maze, and are I forgot my why aren't they against human trafficking. When you have, hey Pocket, when you have people who are, I gotta go upstairs for a second, who are, Disney, like I said, Disney, every year, the cops and the FBI do a dragnet of pedophiles, and a lot of Disney employees get arrested. The rumors about, top Hollywood people being involved with pedophilia, rings, devil worship, all the rest of that shit, yes, I believe that. Why? Because I have good friends who are in the industry who've told me it happens. Now, I'm not saying everybody's involved. I do take offense at Tom Hanks being connected to it and Steven Spielberg because there's no proof. And I think the only reason why they're called out is simply because they're successful, they're Democrats. Why not call them out? Okay, I don't believe it. I have my reasons. But, Disney's got a problem with human trafficking there. I mean, where do you think these pedophiles get their kids? Where do you think that happens? I know where it happens. They work at places like Disney World. They work at places that have children. Most of the worst ones, you're gonna love this, most of the worst ones, sit down, are public school teachers and football coaches and wrestling coaches. Priests, the only reason why Catholic priests get called out is because they're Catholic priests and there's a bias, a waspy bias against Catholics in general within the media. But Disney has a pedophile problem. Hollywood has a pedophile problem. These people don't call out human trafficking because where do they get their supply? All right? Yes, I do believe that there's satanic worship in Hollywood. I've said that before and I'll say it again. There is. Okay? I know there is. And you can tell by the way they behave. You can tell by the way oh, cool. Good. Gina being combative on set is this. That is a bullshit lie. That is to protect Disney now. That is to protect Lucasfilm. And I'm pretty sure that it comes from some fucking asshole. And anybody posting that here is a goddamn troll. And I give Maze and if Dave show up, perfect. They get the power to ban you. Okay? And you will be banned off this channel. Don't you come here and spread lies about Gina. You understand? It's not Disney, Anastasia. It's Lucasfilm. Again, I don't think the Bobs saw this coming. This happened right before the investor meeting. They've lost thousands, if not millions, of subscribers now. They bragged yesterday, we have 94 million subscribers. So, I don't care. I mean, you guys, excuse me, are done. It's over, boys and girls. I mean, but again, we have to fight back. We're not. I mean, this is the Ralphie Parker moment. These people cannot be allowed anymore to do what they've been doing. They want to be a bully? Come bully me. I got something for you. All right? I got something for you. But they won't because bullies are cowards. And if they come after me, they know what's going to happen. Okay? When I was in second grade, message was sent. You keep bullying that little girl, she's gonna bust you in the face and give you a bloody nose. And I did. My brothers taught me how to throw punches. All right? And I still know how to do it. It's time for us to get mean. It's time for us to go to the mattresses. And it's time for us to say, fuck this shit. It's time to fight back. All right? It's time to tell these fuckers, this isn't yours. This isn't yours anymore. You know, if you want Star Wars, I saw that. If you want Star Wars to be good, then it's going to be good, okay? Stop looking for for yourself in it. Stop projecting your bullshit into it. It is not about you. And ultimately, this is what this is about. Gina Carano, Cara Dune, was a 180 from Ray, the bestest ever. And they couldn't stand it. They couldn't stand the fact that people were responding to that character. And the fact, unlike Daisy, who's a stick of wood, Gina is an awesome person. Well, she's a Texas chick. She's an awesome person. And they couldn't stand it. Kennedy couldn't stand it. But look at that bony ass bitch. Look at that fucking hag. Yes, I called her a fucking hag. I'm sick and tired of this shit. You know, I feel like there's nothing we can do about it. And yes, I know there is. Don't go back. Do not re-up your subscription. Okay? There are plenty of ways to watch these shows if you want to. Don't use the WandaVision excuse. I have to watch the end of it. No, you don't need it. Why in the world do you need to watch that show? What is keeping you? All right? There. Oh yeah, I mean, the thing I liked about her was she was keeping, sorry, God, my nose always runs. She was keeping in league with Leia and other Star Wars characters that had come before her, Ahsoka, and others that were popular. And they weren't created by the story group. They weren't created by that idiot J.J. Abrams and that idiot Rian Johnson. And, you know, they were pissed. All right? She was created by Jon Favreau. I mean, you know, if I was Jon Favreau, I'd go to Iger, I'd say, you bring her back or I'm going. I'm done. And I would say that. I'd say, let Kennedy fucking have it. If destroying Star Wars means so goddamn much to her, let her fucking have it. I'm done. If Gina's not back. I don't know what good it would do. I really, really don't. I'm sure Iger would go, but John, blah, blah, blah. Jon Favreau's half Jewish too, by the way. I don't think he gives a shit. He's half Jewish and half French. Bob Iger's, I think, Jewish. I don't think Chapek is, but he could be. You know, and I'm going to tell you something about this. If you talk to a religious Jew, and I know a lot of them, Israeli Jews, religious American Jews, they're like, they don't invoke the Holocaust to be victims. And they understand why people do that. Liberal Jews, secular Jews, people and Jews who don't understand what happened are the ones that freak out. Because like any leftist, they need a victim. They need to be victims. They need to wave the flag of victimhood. If they're not waving the flag of victimhood, see me, I'm a victim, then they're not happy. And they're not happy unless they have control. And even when they have control, they're not happy. Okay? This is not how you run a company. All right? Counting victims, using it as a cudgel to beat other people over the head with. You can't run a company if they're if they're doing that because people don't respond to it. I don't respond to it. You know, I could sit there and say I'm a victim. I don't know what. You know, I mean, I'm looking around going, what could I be a victim of? Who could be victimizing me today? Nobody, because I don't choose to let them. There's really nothing for anybody to victimize me. All right, just like you guys. Well, you better do it, and you better, if you look. Here's something that Tom and Midnight's Edge is on, so I'm gonna get off here pretty soon and then turn them on. Tom Connor said, if you want to cancel your subscription, I would say she could, Anastasia. All right. Cameron Pasha said if she did, she'd never work in Hollywood again, which I think if she won and she would, I mean, I would say court of law going, that was really anti-Semitic. And I'm pretty sure there isn't a judge out there who would go, well, you should have put pronouns in your bio. You know, and I am going to take offense at Weechee's statements yesterday on Midnight's Edge. Gina was perfectly fine doing what she was doing. Weechee, if you're listening, okay, Paul, if you're listening, Weechee, she didn't say anything that hurt fucking Disney. Okay? The fans were like, all right. The people that are hurting Disney are named Pablo Hidalgo, Freddie Prinze Jr., their auxiliaries, Molly Damon and her bitch husband Alex, Steele Saunders, Jason Ward, that fucking prick Hello Greedo, that dickhead at Chats, etc. Okay. She didn't do anything wrong. They have. They have tainted the pool. The reason why is because when we, as fans, said we don't like this, we were bullied and mocked. They are the Scut Farkases of our little Indiana town, and we are Ralphie Parker and his friends. All right? What are we going to do about it? What are we going to do about it? That's my thing. I'm literally so goddamn mad. And the thing about it is, Disney hasn't said a word. Not a fucking word. It's like, you know, or, we don't know what to do. You know, if, you know, I would be sad and it would break my heart. But if they left, if both of them said, fuck this shit, I'm gone, that would be fine. You know, but I am going to say about that announcement that Gina made with Daily Wire. She probably knew she wasn't going to get signed because it takes a while for that stuff to happen. So this just came out recently. Okay? But anyway, look, I got to go. I'm going to turn on Midnight's Edge. And I will talk to you guys later. Go on there and see what Tom has to say and Andre. And maybe I'll be back later. Oh, catch the video I just uploaded here too. See you guys around the galaxy.